Welcome back to ZBCN Today. The real shock comes from what the community believes the announcement is actually about. According to several breakdowns, there is a 28% chance that this announcement involves real-time U.S. money movement systems like FedNow or RTP. Just pause and let that sink in. This isn't a meme partnership. This isn't a new website redesign. We're talking about Zebec potentially connecting directly into the rails that move money across the United States in seconds. That's the kind of integration you'd expect from an established financial titan, not from a crypto project still flying under the mainstream radar. Everything shared in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Then, right behind that, there's a 25% probability that the news involves a major payroll provider, names like ADP, WorldPay, or others the community keeps hinting at. And this isn't random chatter. These names appear repeatedly because of the type of infrastructure Zebec has been quietly building behind the scenes. Following that, there's another 20% chance the announcement is tied to a huge payment processor, the likes of Stripe, PayPal, or Square. Imagine Zebec's streaming payment engine plugged directly into platforms that millions already use daily. After that comes a 15% shot at an expansion into card network capability inside the U.S. market. Think Visa or MasterCard integrations, or some form of issuing expansion. And finally, around 7% probability points to a stablecoin infrastructure upgrade, possibly something tied to Circle's ARC system. Now here's where things really get spicy. If you combine all the categories related to payment rails or payroll infrastructure, you get a 53% total probability that this announcement directly touches American paychecks. That means Zebec might be positioning itself not as a simple crypto project, but as the engine that could stream salaries, bonuses, and the timing? Yeah, it lines up too perfectly. The ISO 2022 Global Compliance deadline hits on Saturday. For people familiar with financial messaging systems, this is the equivalent of the universe syncing its watch. Payment rails, messaging standards, banking APIs, everything is shifting at once, and Zebec seems to be right in the middle of that transition. One community member, CryptoLord, laid out a scenario that honestly sounds insane until you actually think about it. Imagine if Zebec confirms an integration with ADP, which handles a staggering $2.9 trillion in payroll volume, or with UKG, valued at $22 billion and serving massive portions of the American workforce. These companies don't touch millions of workers, they touch tens of millions. If Zebec becomes even a fraction of that pipeline, the price projections people are throwing around suddenly don't feel crazy at all. According to community speculation, if Zebec secures integrations at this scale, the token could, in the near term, shift into the $15 to $45 range, with long-term potential possibly shooting toward that psychological $1 plus level once adoption grows and volumes start flowing consistently. These payroll giants process trillions every year. Even capturing a fraction of a fraction could change everything for the token. But honestly, the real goldmine isn't even the payroll speculation. It's the remittance angle that hardly anyone is paying attention to. Community figure Red Piranha pointed out something that feels almost too obvious when you see the numbers. Zebec is low-key disrupting an $860 billion remittance industry. Look at how remittances normally work with legacy financial dinosaurs, plus 2 to 4 business days of waiting, sometimes more. Meanwhile, Zebec is already running real flows with fees that go as low as 0.003%. That's basically pocket lint. Workers in countries like the Philippines, Nigeria, India, and Mexico are already receiving weekly pay from US and EU clients through Zebec, loading it onto their instant cards in USDC and spending it immediately in their local currency with no extra FX markup and no waiting period. Zebec hasn't even marketed this capability properly yet. Zero aggressive campaigns, no huge ads, barely any noise, and still thousands of people are already using it every day. This is the part where Western Union, MoneyGram, Wise, and Remitly should probably start sweating. Zebec is doing what they do, but cheaper, faster, and in a way that fits the digital world people actually live in. Now let's circle back to the big announcement and talk about the three most likely candidates based on ecosystem research and strategic logic. With more than $150 trillion in yearly settlement volumes, WorldPay is a monster. If Zebec plugs into this ecosystem, you're basically enabling instant payroll plus instant spending for over 1 million retailers. This is the last mile of finance. What connects human beings to money in their hands? It's a perfect match. Visa is aggressively pushing real-time payouts globally, and Zebec is one of the engines already participating in the Circle Arc pilot with Visa and State Street. This system is FedNow ready, RTP compatible, and fully ISO 2022 compliant. If Zebec powers any part of Visa's global instant payment push, we're talking about worldwide gig economy reach. A single ADP partnership could give Zebec visibility to 25 million U.S. workers almost overnight. With ex-ADP executives already advising Zebec, this isn't a wild fantasy, it's a realistic possibility. Integrating streaming payroll into Workforce Now could open up hybrid salaries, USD base plus USDC incentives, fully compliant with IRS reporting. Now zoom out even further. The broader regulatory climate is shifting too. Ono Finance recently secured approval to distribute tokenized stocks and ETFs across more than 30 European markets, another sign that Europe is ready for regulated crypto infrastructure. On the other side of the world, Japan's Financial Services Agency is preparing reforms that categorize around 105 digital assets, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, as formal financial products. This means new disclosure requirements, better investor protection, insider trading restrictions, and clearer regulatory structure. Instead of shutting crypto down, Japan is pulling it into their formal financial architecture. This is the global backdrop on which Zebec is moving. Real-time banking rails, payroll integrations, remittances, regulatory clarity, exchange listings, European expansion. And that wraps up today's breakdown here at ZBCN Today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you more daily updates on Zebec and the entire Web3 ecosystem. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take.